So Sarah was telling me about the plucky penny whistle
Yeah.
thing. You getting beat up by some clowns.
Yeah.
When you read that in a script, when you're like, are you like really like
Yeah,
clowns?
at first I read it because it's not even just a little kind of like, oh, it's a cute beating. It's like a whooping, and it was a day. It was over a day to film, literally over a day to film. Us fighting through all sorts of different parts, myself and two clowns. Um, it was a lot of fun. I couldn't walk for like 2 days because it was so labor intensive. I mean, getting up, getting down, and jumping on this, and I think I'm tougher than I am. So I like to pretend I'm doing the hard stuff and jump around and run around. But then I end up waking up sore. But I think it's going to be funny and scary in a really supernatural only way.
Guys have an episode coming up. I mean, did you imagine when you first signed onto the show that eventually you'd get to the unicorn episode?
No, you could have asked me this season 4 if I thought we would be getting to some of the stuff we were doing then, and I would have been like, no. So the fact that we've come this far and we're still going, and these guys are still motoring along, it's in a way it's really cool because it's such a rarity these days, especially in today's TV. I mean, there's just not a lot of people willing to give any kind of leeway to any show. I mean, people are getting the plug pulled after 2 episodes of airing. I mean, it's just so to have to have carved out a little spot for us, even though it's on Friday nights.
Whatever, it works.
But it works, and thank God for the people who watch us, for our fans, because they've stayed committed to the show, and it's very rewarding.
We talked about this a little bit back in LA, but Sam's about to lose it. Are you like are we gonna see you in a straitjacket? Like how far are we going?
I think so. I haven't seen the wardrobe lineup yet, but I think we're gonna see me probably in a straitjacket. I mean, I go totally berserker, totally nuts. I completely lose it. We've all been scared of it, and we see it in action, and we start shooting that episode tomorrow. So I'll figure out what I'm wearing tomorrow, but I wouldn't be surprised to see me tied up a little bit.
As far as acting wise, like you've done a lot. Sam's lost his mind a few times, but like, how do you prep and decide sort of how you're gonna show the crazy this time?
That's a good question. I really, truly, honestly don't think about the visual.
Mm-hmm.
I try not to. I found myself in a trap sometimes where I thought about how it would look, and then watched afterwards and it didn't look like that. And so I went back to what got me job in the first place, which is just trying to be true to the feelings and the sensations and the emotion coming from me.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully they'll display themselves outwardly. But I'm sure I'll get a lot of help from the makeup department, kind of bags under the eyes and this bit and that bit.
You're not sleeping, right?
No, I'm trying not to sleep. I joked with them, they wrote the episode about 4 episodes too early because when I'm a dad in a couple episodes, I probably won't have sleep anyways. From what I remember out of Misha, when he came back to shoot after West was born, he was kind of like, hey, how are you doing? So I told him if we filmed this in March or April, it'd probably be method acting. But I'll do my best. I'll try not to rest too much. As it is, I don't get too much rest anyways. I mean, I took an hour nap today over lunch because I had the chance. But usually we're pretty all over the place anyway, so.
Yeah, Jensen's like, I think he's working out. Suzanne was like, no, he's sleeping.
Yeah, he's horizontal. Yeah, I was working out my nasal cavities.
That's sexy.
Oh,
right
yeah.
There.
Oh, rocking it. Smelling like dog hair everywhere.
With Misha coming back, Dean obviously has some stuff to deal with. Can you talk a little bit about sort of his headspace?
Sorry, who's Misha?
What's up?
I'm just here to watch.
No pressure.
I'm gonna mad dog him from back here.
Sorry, what was the question?
What's up with Dean now that with dealing with Castiel's return?
Well, I mean, obviously it's not Castiel.
Right.
It is, but it isn't. So I think the fact that there's a different bit of a situation there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, first, Dean's just gobsmacked. I mean, it even says just jaw to the floor, I think, when he sees him. And I think there's a lot of mixed emotions about it. I think, he's probably elated to have his friend back and somebody who he knows that he can count on, even though he doesn't really know who he is, meaning Cass doesn't know that he's Cass. I think that I mean, personally, from an actor standpoint, I'm just glad to have the gang back together, so to speak.
Yeah.
I'd like to get more of them back together. I'd like to get Jim back and Benedict back and Spate back, but those are lofty dreams right now. I'll take Misha. That's good. But I think as far as the character goes, there's an excitement there because I think he lost a lot of hope when Cass went away. I think there was
It's really sad right now.
that was a really big blow, I think, to his motivation in this fight. And then again when Bobby left, and he's just, I think he feels like he doesn't really have. I mean, he obviously has his brother, but his he's going through all the kinds of stuff that he's going on. I mean, he's a mental case right now, and so even though he has his brother, part of his brother, it's a tough time for Dean right now. He doesn't quite have the support group that he used to have, and he doesn't have much to rely on anymore, and it's tough.
I was talking to this guy over here a couple weeks ago, and
Yeah.
he was telling me about Sam really going off the rails. How does that affect Dean?
Horribly.
When
I mean,
Sam loses it.
if you think about it, and like I just said,
Less days off.
he's what?
Less days off.
Less days, yeah, less days off. This is not good. He's lost Cass, he's lost Bobby, and I think what little part of Sam that he does have left is that's it. That's all he's got. And I think once, if that was to up and go too, I think it'd be the end of Dean. He wouldn't really have a reason to keep going. He would get very self-destructive. I think he might kamikaze for Dick Roman. Who knows?